That'd be nice. That'd be
Yes.
really nice to figure out what the hell's going on there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes. Sleeping in late becoming a habit. During the holidays, if I've not got a job or anything to do, I'll frequently like shift my sleeping pattern 2 or 3 hours later than usual. So I'll go to bed at like 2
Oh
a.m.
my
and get
gosh.
up at
Are we
midday
gonna meet
sort
a
of thing.
parent that isn't?
Hmm.
Are we gonna get one of the girls' parents?
Yes, this will be the first time we've met.
I don't know where this
What
is.
a what a
What?
what hair! That is a manly beard and some manly hair.
Um,
I've seen this guy in fan art, and I'm still seriously curious as to who he is and why the fuck he has a sword.
Shoujo's Bizarre Adventure.
He seems like a tank.
Um,
Uh, he's barrel chested,
a
has
giant bear man sums
epic
up the
flowing
current image we've
locks,
got of him.
and a fucking sword.
Yep.
Who is this man? Let us click on and find out. Is this their father? Perhaps if this is the father, this is where the competitive streak in Shizune came from.
Huge man.
Yeah, Sal seems to agree with us there.
Yep.
Hmm. Note, he's introducing himself as Shizune's classmate. Oh. Would you like my business card? I guess. Why not?
Okay. This is everything's unexpected right now.
Jigoro. And he's a consultant. If he's carrying his own business card around the house, are you sure he's Shizune's father? And not just some random that wandered in?
At this point, both could be right. Both
Equally
leads could be
likely, yeah.
correct. How do you say that? Jigorio?
Jigoro, I don't know. Yeah, Jigoro. So
Jigoro.
Jigoro or Jigoro if you can't roll your R's. If our one viewer is a Japanese speaker, please tell us how wrong we're pronouncing this.
Yep, that'd be very nice to know.
Slightly late lunch. Shit, he's just woken up. This sounds like my kind of sleeping pattern. It's breakfast if it's the first meal of your day, right?
Beer liver.
Uh, he seems like the sort of if he's fucking carrying a sword around his own home, he seems like the sort of man who would eat a bear's liver.
Yes, he really does.
And eating, Hasao mentions it's. I don't think it's bear liver. Husky liver is definitely toxic
Yes.
because of the massive concentrations of vitamin A,
Mm.
which has been the downfall of many an Arctic or Antarctic explorer. I can't remember his name, but there was an Australian man who was exploring the Antarctic, and basically his entire group died, and he almost died from vitamin A poisoning. The only reason he lived was because he offered his sicker partner larger portions of the food to try and get his partner to survive. Kind of ironic.
Yeah,
I forget
given.
his name though.
Then again, I guess if you're one of those situations, you're gonna take the chances.
Yeah. But yes, then we find out Jigoro's just kidding. But he seems like I said, he seems like the sort of man who'd slice the head off a bear and eat its liver. Oh. Hmm. I've never been a fan of omelets, just mainly because I'm not a fan of eggs.
I like omelets. I really like omelets.
Hmm. Jigoro knows. He knows all about the student council. Shizune's super happy. Oh, let's see. Let's see if he responds to the sign language. No response to the sign language. Hmm. Must be nice having so much free time. Really? Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting because, well,
This conversation for our viewers usually happens with Muto, the teacher, but then again, he's just not featured at all in this line beyond being the first person we're introduced to. Kind of interesting. Children aren't interested in business. What business of yours is my business? He's some kind of tax man. Oh, this guy seems like a cool. He seems like a cool guy. Oh, we never actually find out what our parents do for a living. Nah. But yes, he does not seem like a reserved man. He seems like a cool guy, but you know, with the whole not knowing sign language thing, I'm getting some slightly sad vibes from this. The whole thing about oh, that's right. There. Oh, is it Hideaki's job to pack up the fishing equipment? Really? Oh, Christ. Expensive custom-made rods. No, he eats the eggshells for calcium.
It looks like he does, to be honest.
The gains for the bone structure. Nothing surprises me anymore. Interesting comment there.
He seems to be one of those very much likes things done his way.
Yes. We're mentioning the Sato family.
What?
I have a feeling that's directed at the Sato family.
Probably.
Shampoo spray. In terms of tacky shirts, he seems like he's got a very similar taste to my dad, in that the louder the shirt, the more likely he is to wear it. I've actually inherited my dad's taste when it comes to loud shirts like that. Ah, that was delicious. But yes, oh, wow. The dad is just weird. Yeah, he does it to everyone. Oh, yeah. I know the sorts of people that deliberately act real crazy and slightly mad and all macho and shit to mess with people. They're quite often real. They're quite often a fun time. But yeah.
Well, at least Tassau's willing to sum up probably what a lot of people, if they've got this far, are now thinking.
What? Let's go shopping? Oh no, Shizune's father might be a dick. Shizune seems to have some pretty rocky relationships with her family in general, really.
Yeah, but from what we know already of their family as a whole, we know why her and Lily are at
Yamako.
Yamako.
Yes. But yes, being between two hot girls with their arms hooked around you. Hasal's a very lucky boy. Misha has a very unusually bouncy way of moving around. I wonder what part of her bounces the most. Still not laugh without dying.
Yes. I'm still having the problems of laughing, but just like dying on the side. But it's pretty much all done at this point.
Oh well. Yeah. Shizune and Misha can talk with one-handed gestures, whereas Hisao can't talk at all because of his arms.
And Misha is just going over her head.
Oh god, that just reminds me. It's something I always do to piss my friends off is the old tap them on the opposite shoulder trick. And it only ever works like 1% of the time, but that 1%, I'm like, yes! And they're always just super pissed.
That description of how she was trying to get Shizune's attention is a bit ridiculous.
Because they stopped rather than anything like that.
I was like, yeah, just a sudden stop with Misha reaching with her
But
far
Shizune's
hand
blushing
behind herself and Hisao to tap Shizune's closest shoulder.
Yeah, I can imagine that, but Shizune's blushing and she's looking adorable. Oh, it's a wild Cameron. We're recording this, just a forewarning.
Okay.
Hey, Cameron.
Hey.
It'd be at this point it'd be kind of weird for you to show up and then leave again.
Well, yeah.
Eh.
Stream.
He's shown up a few times already in the past, along with Sam every now and again.
Yes.
But I don't show up as randomly as Sam does.
Now, man, we were that close to a daybreak.
Yeah.
Oh well.
If your plan about doing an episode for every day, they're going to be some pretty wildly varying episode lengths. No, you haven't learned it by osmosis. That's the transmission of water through a semi-permeable membrane. Come on.
It's close enough.
He learned it by diffusion. I think that's diffusion. Yeah, water through a semi-permeable membrane. I'm not sure what the general term for any fluid through a semi-permeable membrane is, but something's. I want to say diffusion, but I'm not entirely certain. I just know it's not osmosis. But yes, Misha and Shizune have a super secret code.
Well, I don't think it's exactly super secret, but more just
yes, they've started
gestures
using the
that
code
they make up.
code
So
words more now that he's learned sign language.
yeah.
More beer.
No.
Oh, hey, it's Hideaki.
Hideaki.
Hideaki. There we go. Well done. You still there, Cameron? Or have you left?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
I'm just kind of chilling.
That's
not the
interesting
point.
Why do I get the feeling that this is like a major taboo?
Yes. Yeah, Hisao agrees with me. That's not the point. You're supposed to look. Yeah. Speaking of which, I was at the supermarket earlier today, and I saw two women signing it. It looked pretty interesting. I wanted to stop and admire it, but I probably would have looked creepy just standing at a distance staring at them.
Yeah, that would have looked creepy, though. Sign language, from what I've seen on public transport and whatnot, is actually a very interesting language to watch.
Given that I know multiple spoken languages, I'm quite curious about what it'd be like to learn a non-verbal language. Seems like a lot of work to go through just to talk to my sister. Hmm.
Well, I mean, technically you already know a language that you don't speak. It's called body language.
Yeah, fair enough. That kind of counts, but then again, I'm quite socially inept, and
Yeah.
I'm not always the best at reading body language. Yeah. Ooh,
Okay,
Ooh.
that's an interesting development.
Interesting development. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. And the music stopped as well, so this is serious.
Very.
Yeah, very valid point there. What's Hideaki? Don't understand what you're doing. You don't just jump in the lake. Have to go start in the kiddie pool with your floaties first.
Nah,
That's not the point, Hideaki.
gotta jump head first into the water.
But that's interesting. It's a weird concept because here in New Zealand we're surrounded by ocean, so it's highly unusual to not learn to swim.
Despite we having a very low percentage of people that actually know how to swim.
I know. Well, pretty much everyone I know knows how to swim. Then again, that might be my white privilege, and I've just gone and offended a Tumblr SJW about the fact that not everyone has the facilities to learn how to swim. Well,
I
hey,
don't know, just we spend as a country as a whole, we actually spend a lot of time in the water. But from what I've heard, we don't. There's a surprisingly large percentage of people that don't actually know how to swim, despite that.
Well, literally everybody at my high school kind of had to know how to swim because swimming sports was compulsory every year.
Swimming
Yeah,
sports is compulsory.
But then again, most of those pools, you're lucky if you have to tip. You're lucky if tiptoeing is a.
Oh no! At the deep end of our pool, it was at least 2.5 meters. You had to swim.
Okay.